Hi everyone, welcome back to my YouTube channel. My name is Kiki. If you're a new subscriber, you're welcome and thanks for subscribing. If you're an old subscriber, thank you so much for sticking by. So today I'll be talking about my birth story, and this is a very emotional story to me, and there are lessons to be learned at the end of the day. So stick around, and if this sounds like something you might be interested in, then keep on watching. So welcome back again. Like I said earlier, this is very special to me, and I'm bringing this out there just for new moms, everyone generally, to pick one or two lessons from it at the end of it all. So please watch till the end. I remember when I got married, and in the kind of society we live in, you're expected that once you get married you should actually start having children immediately, but that was not the case for me. I think I had about a delay for 3 months, and so the fact that the society we live in, they expect that you should get pregnant almost immediately you get married. There are a lot of pressure here and there, but the fact still remains that it is not usually that way. It doesn't come out that way at all. The fact that somebody gets married today doesn't mean that the person has to take it the next day. If you do, then you count yourself lucky, but if you don't, it doesn't mean that you are less lucky. So we need to change that stereotype. Let them understand that it doesn't it doesn't always work that way. So a few months into my marriage, I eventually conceived. Yay! And then I was happy, but I was a bit down with all of this morning sickness and all of that. Eventually I struggled to reach the 9 months, and then when I was due 9 months exactly on my due date, I remember in the morning I woke up and then I saw
like a blood and mucus.
And I was like, okay, that's what they call, I think, show or something. I don't know if I'm right. Then I just went to place my husband. I was like, I just saw this, so blah blah blah. Like, I think it's almost here, and and I think a few hours later I started having mild contractions, and I was eventually taken to the hospital, and the doctor met with me, and then I was finally induced. I was induced 9 a.m. and the labor progressed normally, and eventually it became stronger. Like, you know what I mean? Really stronger. I think is it minutes or seconds interval, you get that pull, that strong pull, and I was like, okay, fine, this is it. Please, I want to also know, am I the only mama that was having to always pee whenever I'm in labor? Because I don't know where it comes from. Mostly I hear that, okay, you throw up when you are most mamas, they throw up when they're in labor, but I find myself not throwing up but peeing. I don't understand. I'm always like peeing every minute. I'm like, doctor, I want to pee, doctor, I want to pee, like every minute. I don't know, that's awkward. I don't know if you're like me. Please drop a comment. I would love to meet with you. Also to mention, there are 3 stages. There are 3 things a woman goes through during delivery. That's the delivery of the baby, the placenta, and then the aftermath. This stitching, having to stitch you, that is another thing on its own. We are getting there. I remember that I couldn't hold it back anymore. I told the doctor, I pushed that 8 cm. I told the doctor that I could not hold on to the pain anymore, and being my first time, I was just helpless. And I remember the doctor telling me, no, madam, do not push. I'm like, no, doctor, anything that wants to happen should happen.
You see the statement that I said?
I'm still regretting it till today. At that point, I just felt like it should just come out. Anything that wants to happen should just happen, and that was a huge mistake I made, and it's only that I cannot turn back the end of time, and they are like lessons, to get better at it and not to repeat oneself again. Eventually, I pushed at 8 a.m. and I ruptured my cervix along the line, and at the end of the day, the baby too was actually small, so it even made it easy. I just pushed once, and the baby came out, and I really did myself bad. But I don't know, I can't blame myself because it was my first time and I couldn't hold on to the pain anymore. Fast forward to the placenta, delivery of the placenta, that went well, and then later it now became really, really, really serious. It became really serious when they were suturing me. They were trying to stitch, the part I ruptured. They did that over and over and over again. I don't know, they just couldn't get, where I was bleeding from. And I noticed that along the line, I lost a lot of blood. It was gradually becoming a medical emergency where I then needed to be transferred.
But then again, they brought in the wrong blood.
That is not matching blood, because the blood wasn't matching with my group. So it was like another phase for me entirely. And I remember my husband being with me. He was insisting that this is not my blood group. This can never be this woman's blood group. And I remember saying that they had to repeat the test again. And he brought out a wrong blood group again. Sometimes I just look back and I just really thank God, because it could have been something else if I was actually in the wrong blood. Husband and God factor, not removing the God factor, actually averted what could have happened. So I'm always looking back and really so grateful about that aspect. That created another huge problem on its own. So I needed an immediate postnatal care. So being my first, I had an episiotomy and a cervical tear. I was referred to another hospital, a state hospital. This is not to discredit any hospital, like it just happened, but I was referred to a state hospital where they attended to me. But before that, Nigerian system, now you know how they are always nonchalant about everything. That leads me to the lessons that should be learned from my birth story. Like, I had to rewrite those things, and I made sure that those mistakes I made during my first would not occur or would not happen in my second. First lesson is planning. Immediately you note that you are pregnant, you start planning right away. Research on the hospital. Make sure that the hospital that you are going to, make sure that people have testimonies, like good positive things to say about the hospital in terms of their medical expertise. You make sure that they are good. Then aside that, you make sure that you go for your antenatal. All of those things that should be done, like before delivery, are done. Like your blood group, make sure that they are matching. Your scan, the regular scanning that you should do to weigh your baby should be done. Right medical checks, like I said earlier, right medical checks regarding your scanning, the position of your baby, your blood group, your VP, etc., to avoid any form of complication. So these are very, very necessary. The hospital that you should be delivering in should actually have your history, and then if there are any medications like the normal pregnancy medication, you should take them religiously. Don't think because maybe it's too big, because I had that challenge too. I feel, oh, the pill is too big, but I was taking mine. But sometimes a lot of us get irritated by how big the pill is, or the smell of the pill, so it can actually not appeal to us, not want us to take it eventually. But please don't mind that. Even if you have to cover your nose, please cover your nose and take your pill. Your life is crucial. The life of your baby too is very, very important. So please make sure you take due diligence to all of this area. Then antenatal too, please don't miss your antenatal clinics. They are very important too. I remember during my time, I wasn't frequent with my antenatal, and that affected me. A lot of things that I should have learned along the line and all of that, we're actually missing out on it. Learning about the birth processes and other required things are very essential. So please, mamas, if you're a new mom and you're watching this, do not miss your antenatal. Please try. Even if there are some reasons here and there why we might miss one or two, please don't miss out frequently. You see, the most important thing is please have a positive mindset. A positive mindset and a positive mentality is very, very crucial at this stage. Once you discover that you are pregnant, please just keep that positive energy rolling. because we hear a lot of things on social media these days of how pregnant women have complications during delivery. Those kind of things, shaping the way we reason. And for a fact, it did for me. I remember always going to my husband, I'm like, hey, see what just happened, see what they said, see what I saw on social media. He's always like, see, there are complications. Yes, that's not to dispute the fact. That's not to dispute the fact that there are no complications. There are complications, but please don't let that sink into you to the extent that you might start brewing negative thoughts, negative energy towards your delivery, because it did affect me. In fact, at the point when I was going to deliver, honestly speaking, I was always telling my husband, I was like, what if I don't make it out alive? That statement alone shows that I've had so much information, negative informations in my head, and they were working against me. And I must tell you for a fact, this particular one was majorly the reason why what happened. This is not to say that, okay, it wouldn't have happened. I'm saying that it is actually part of the reason. In fact, it fueled what happened. It had a huge effect on me, and I wish I did better. So this is just to put out there to encourage mamas to please, things happen, yes, but that doesn't mean that it will happen to you. Always encourage yourself. Always have a positive mindset. Okay, the fact that you read a news about this doesn't mean that it will happen. It can never happen to you. Like, always I've built that strong force. Like, it cannot happen. It won't happen to me. I will go in there, I will do my best, and I will do it well. Please, this is very, very, very essential. So please please share, please subscribe, please, you guys help my ministry, please. And I'll see you in my next video. Till next time, bye.